There he comes. Hey, get away from those are our chairs.
There are two options. Someone better marry me and knock me up immediately so I can do this with my kid, or I'll have to borrow your child. Pick your poinsettia. That was supposed to say poison. You know what? I'm leaving it.
You see this? Do you see what's happening here? You can't have an intelligent conversation with this guy. Who?
Jimmy Kimmel wants you to die. Megyn Kelly pulled her kids out of their school after this disturbing thing happened. The CIA has weird plans you need to know about. And with the anniversary of 9/11 being tomorrow, I want to discuss a little bit about that day. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics. Jimbozo Kimmel has some strong words for people who decide not to get the jab of the hut or have taken the drug that starts with an I. Don't you love how I have to speak in code here in America, so we can have free thought surrounding medical care?
This is prison.
If you don't get the juice or if you take the drug that starts with an I, Jimmy Kimmel said on his show that you should be denied medical care.
You're a bad man. You're a very bad man.
Does Jimmy Kimmel also think the morbidly obese should be denied medical care? What about people addicted to heroin or meth who didn't get the juice? What about people who need medical care after they crash their car while drunk driving? Does Jimmy Kimmel believe they also should be denied care due to their bad choices?
You may have a point.
What about people, not even conservatives, whose doctors have advised them not to get the juice because of prior medical conditions, even if they vote the same exact way as you, Jimmy? Are you grouping them into this idea of yours or not?
Are you actually considering this?
And how long did we have to hear this dude talk about healthcare being a right on his show, and now he switched to this? I distinctly remember him wanting us to care about his daughter. She's got major heart issues, and we all know that one of the side effects you could experience after getting the jab of the hut is heart issues. So I wonder, once her age group is approved, if Jimmy Kimmel will have his own daughter get it. Talk about piping hot hypocrisy.
Only time will tell, my friends.
I so badly want to talk to Megyn Kelly on my new podcast, The Spillover. I love that you know my secret now. Anyway, she's in the news this week because her two sons were enrolled in one of the best all-boys schools in the country. These are elite, best of the best rich people schools. You know what I'm talking about? Gossip Girl style. And she said in a recent interview that she had to pull both of her kids out because they were being asked weekly if they were sure they were boys.
It's just turned into a surrealistic nightmare.
I don't even understand why an all-boys school that probably costs as much as college tuition would even want to suggest to their male students to change their gender. Because if they do say they think they're a girl, then what? Are they kicked out of that school, or are they going to say boys and girls can go there now? Also, wouldn't they be losing money if a boy says he's a girl so he has to leave the all-boys school? I mean, what is the purpose of this? What is the end to justify the means?
That just makes no sense. I mean, it's just bull.
Everyone in Hollywood is getting married and having babies right now, and I love to see it. I love, and I love families. Mom! Supermodel Jasmine Tukes, who, in my opinion, has to be one of the most beautiful people on the planet, married one of the directors for Snapchat, Juan David Barrero, with a breathtaking wedding in Ecuador, and her train was 15 feet long. The bridesmaids wore sage dresses, which is like one of my favorite colors right now, and the theme was Secret Garden. Love it, need it, want it. I fully approve of every detail of this wedding. But I want to walk down the aisle to this song.
Somebody's getting married. Somebody's getting married. Somebody's getting married.
Somebody's getting. Somebody's getting.
Somebody.
You know who else got married? Emily in Paris. Well, Lily Collins, who plays Emily. She also looks stunning for her Colorado wedding. Huge baby news too. Jennifer Lawrence is expecting her first child with her husband, Cook Maroney, and Jason Kennedy and Lauren Scruggs, two other Christian celebrities that I adore, are pregnant with their first child after struggling with infertility for years. We love the babies! Shout out to my favorite baby of all time. What happened to this baby? I want to Where Are They Now? Vine Babies edition. Not sure if you watched He's All That on Netflix with Addison Rae, but it's either so good or at least doing well enough with numbers because Netflix just signed a massive multi-picture deal with Addison Rae.
Can we please just talk about this in private?
No, what kind of person pageant?
The biggest loser we could find so she could turn him into prom king. But that was before.
Wait, so I was a bet?
No.
No, I was a f***ing bet.
According to The Verge, Netflix is going to be creating projects specifically for Addison to star in and executive produce. That's big time.
I'm a star. You're a pizza. I'm a pizza.
They also said Netflix projects the film will be watched by more than 55 million households in the first month of release and says it reached #1 on the company's chart in 78 countries. I mean, the world is made up of Netflix and TikTok these days. So basically, she rules the world. And she's BFFs with Kourtney K. Must be nice. If you watched the movie, did you like it or is it trash?
I mean, what the hell is this? I really don't understand it.
A new article from Politico says the CIA wants to show off their softer side on social media, so they're considering making a TikTok account.
I think the CIA is controlling my thoughts.
No, we're not.
Oh, I guess they're not.
What the heck is going on? Am I the only person who does not think it's a good idea for any of our government agencies to show a softer side? Why is President Biden making us look so weak? This is so embarrassing and a horrible idea. The government on TikTok is very big brotherish or whatever, but it also has major embarrassing dad vibes.
Alexa, would you lie to me?
I always try to tell the truth. I'm not always right, but I would never intentionally lie to you or anyone else.
Alexa, what is the CIA?
The United States Central Intelligence Agency, CIA.
Alexa, are you connected to the CIA? Alexa, are you connected to the CIA?
20 years ago this weekend was one of the most devastating and deadly terrorist attacks to ever happen on American soil. And I want to tell you what I remember about that day. I was going to a Baptist school at the time in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I was in 3rd grade and it was a chapel day. There was a moment in the middle of the service where all the teachers were asked by the principal to come to the front of the church and they were whispering. And I distinctly remember something was going on and I wanted to know what it was. Clearly, I have not changed. After that, the day went on as normal, and I never knew that a terrorist attack had just happened until my mom picked me up. She told me that some bad people flew planes into some tall buildings in New York City and that a lot of kids weren't going to see their mommies and daddies again. We came home and she turned the news on and it stayed on for days. I remember her crying as she watched and knowing that something very, very sad had happened, but not fully being able to grasp it. And then I remember how patriotic everyone was after that. There were American flags everywhere. People were nicer. God bless the USA was on signs and posted in store windows. I don't think it was until I was out of high school that I really understood how horrifying that day was for the people involved. I read about people stepping over limbs and torsos in the street from the jumpers, how there were dozens of cars left abandoned at train stations just outside the city from parents who commuted from the suburbs that would never ride the train home. I listened to terrifying voicemails from passengers telling their spouses and parents that they loved them before their planes crashed. On my first trip to New York City, I made sure to walk through the 9/11 museum, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done. I didn't stop crying the entire time. I think I was there for about 3 hours, and I still didn't get to see everything. When America is under attack, you don't ask your neighbor who they voted for as you're running for your life. You bond together to do everything you can to protect her. That's what we did as a country after the attacks. We were checking on our neighbors. We volunteered. We were selfless. We grasped onto the uniqueness of our freedom in this special country. It's been 20 years, and at this exact same time in 2001, Kanye West dropped a new album, a hurricane hit Louisiana, and Afghanistan was in the news. It feels like we are back to where we started, but can we bring back the patriotism to hold us together through it? If you weren't born yet when 9/11 happened or you were too little to remember, watch some movies about it. Watch some documentaries this weekend. Listen to interviews of people who survived. Listen to witness accounts of what it was like. Look up the voicemails left to family members by people who knew they were moments away from dying. You need to know this day in history.
I'm here on behalf of a very grateful and very admiring city to tell each and every one of you how proud we are of you, and saying how proud we are of the innocent men and women who are going about their lives, seeking their part of the American dream when their lives were cut short by the act of cowardly terrorists.
Support POPlitics, the first ever daily pop culture show, by tapping the heart and then save button on this episode. Comment how old you were when 9/11 happened and what you remember, and share this episode to your stories, please, and encourage people to follow POPlitics if they haven't. Now, The Spillover, my new long-form podcast that will have all the conservative I can't fit into a regular POPlitics episode, and interviews with guests who have jaw-dropping stories, starts next Friday, September 17th on TPUSA Live, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Subscribe to POPlitics on Apple Podcasts right there so that you're ready to go. I am so excited for this. It will be 5 orange juicy, spicy, and so much tea. You will love it. We're back Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Remember, we will never forget. It's pop culture without the propaganda every single day. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics. Click below to watch yesterday's episode. Please subscribe, thumbs up, share this video, and ring the bell for notifications so you never miss the conservative. And make sure you're following this show at POPlitics on Instagram for even more CUTEservative content.